My head look like it's real tall. Welcome to CCG TV, the Keep Columbus Beautiful Earthnotes. Thank you all for tuning in, and we certainly do appreciate you all viewing on CCG TV. If you all are just tuning in for the very first time, the mission for Keep Columbus Beautiful is to engage and educate individuals to be better stewards to our environment. And we do that by enhancing beautification, eliminating litter and blight, and protecting our environment. But I can just tell you, lately we've had a lot of trash on our roads, and it's so important for us to take on our individual responsibility. So if you're driving a truck that have a flatbed on the back of it, you need to secure your loads, because people don't just park and dump trash on our main roadways. However, some people might do that, but we're so sure that you're not doing it. But if you could just share with your families, friends, those people who are under your sphere of influences, and encourage them to do the right thing, secure their loads, and just don't throw things out of their car as they're driving to really litter our highways, because it costs a lot of money to make sure that we maintain those, and we're trying to get volunteers to make sure that we can keep Columbus beautiful, but it takes every last one of us to do that. So you're part of our community, you're one of the 2002 population that we have, and we really do need your support. So thank you for helping us to keep Columbus beautiful, and we'll look forward to you all just supporting some of our other programs and projects. We've just had a full year. We started right off with the Christmas tree recycling program, and actually had a few trees that we can put over at Oxbow Meadows, and then we went on and planted some trees for Martin Luther King Service Project over at Martin Luther King Elementary School. And this is tree planting season, and now we're into February, and on the third Friday of February is Arbor Day for the state of Georgia. You know, we were the first city in the state of Georgia to receive a recognition as a Tree City USA. And so because of that, we have to plan and implement more tree planting. So I know many of you all are just talking about, well, maybe she's always talking about trees and talking about water. Well, those are things that really give us life. And so I just want you all to know that we appreciate your support and being a good steward. And so if you'd like to plant some trees on the right of way, you know, you can call and put your name and number on the list, and maybe for next year you can probably get a tree. All you have to do is call 311. And remember, so if you want to plant a tree on the right of way, or if you want to receive a recycling bin, you can also call 311 and request your bin, and they'll bring it to you. So I have a wonderful guest for us today. Right now we are here on the studio with Mr. Mike Jordan, not Michael Jordan that plays basketball. He actually really kind of planting a lot of trees around this town because he works for the Urban Forestry and Beautification Division. Michael, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Good, good, good. You know, it's always good at this time of the year. It's cold and the trees are ready to be planted.
Oh yeah,
right?
It's perfect time.
But before we start talking about tree planting, why don't you tell the audience about what you do? What's your title there?
I'm the Assistant Beautification Manager for the Beautification Division.
Okay.
We're in charge of maintaining the right-of-ways, cutting the right-of-ways, street sweepers, stump grinding, planting trees, do various amount of tasks. Yeah.
So you're busy.
Very busy.
And
yeah.
certainly right now you're really, really busy. And I'm just so excited that you all are going to plant some trees that's right there on the corner of Moon Road and Moon Circle, in that big open space.
Yeah.
And there'll be evergreen trees.
Yes.
And so I'm excited about that because that's not too far from where I am.
Yeah,
you know.
we have, let's see, I think 637 trees we're planting this year.
Oh, wow, that's
so,
awesome.
Yeah, so we stay busy. We try to plant a good amount every year. We got to make our city look good and
That's right.
clean the air with the trees. And
That's right.
we try to plant all types of trees.
And so often, you know what, people don't really think about the benefits of trees, but trees touch our life in so many ways. You know, the homes that we live in, mostly made out of wood.
Yeah.
And so they're there for that purpose, and a lot of the food that we eat particularly the fruits that we eat come from trees. A lot of some of the medicines made from trees. And then it filters this air so that we can have good quality air to breathe. And if it didn't do that, we would just die.
Yeah.
So we don't think about the benefit of trees, but trees are not just there just to look pretty. They are always working really hard.
Oh yeah, they're very important for any community.
They are, and that's why we have to have someone on or a part of our city to make sure that we are growing green.
Yes.
You know, when there is construction going on, if it's residential or commercial, and trees are taken down, then trees need to be put back up.
That's correct.
That's
Yes.
right. So tell us some of the things that you're doing. What planning, or where you're planning at now?
Oh, all over the city.
Okay.
We planted in Oakland Park. We planted some of the areas that got damaged by the tornadoes a few months ago.
Okay.
Up in Overlook area. We're really trying to reestablish some of those old oak trees that were damaged with some newer oak trees. So we're everywhere.
Oh, good.
So, and like you said, it's still not too late. If they want a tree this year, they can still get on the list. So we'll have some available. If they call 311, then we'll do our best to try to get it this year.
And actually, they can request a species of tree that they're like, maybe like a crepe myrtle, or
Yes, ma'am.
Or if they wanted a
live
Bradford
oak
pear or a live oak,
river
or a
birch,
maple,
yeah.
river birch. So if you all are interested in having a tree planted on the right of way in front of your home, call 311 and request a tree to be planted there, and they'll be able to do that. Now, you may not get your tree this planting season because the season starts in October and it goes through March.
Yeah, we
Or
should be
when it
done
starts to
around
get
March. Yeah.
By March,
Yeah.
as soon as when it starts to get hot, then you're not planting any
No,
trees
ma'am.
then. So,
Yeah.
but call and place your name on the list so that you'll receive a tree. You'll be surprised as to how it really enhances the beautification of your area, and then it'll also be protecting our air quality, and so we just need for your support. Are there any other things that you all are planning to do from the Urban Forestry and Beautification Division?
Well, we're trying to get a campaign going, like you mentioned earlier. Litter around Columbus has been very heavy this year.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to really reduce that the best we can. Last year, we have two main divisions that pick up litter on the right-of-way, community service and ourselves.
Right.
And between the two divisions, we picked up about 1.5 million pounds of debris off the right-of-way.
And that's a shame.
Yeah.
And it's really because people aren't taking on their responsibility.
Correct.
You know, to properly dispose of their trash.
Yeah, the best way, I mean, if you're riding down the road, you know, you don't want to throw anything out the window. Keep a little baggie in the car, or get a little small little trash bag, keep it behind your seat, and then you can throw things away as you go. But when it winds up on the right-of-way, it winds up in the creeks. It causes pollution for the fish and the wildlife, and then it decreases the water quality. So there's all kinds of things that go along with litter on the right-of-way.
With littering on the right-of-way.
ma'am.
And it's so important. You know, I tell you, I see when I drive, I can count the number of trucks that are passing as I'm driving that have items on the back of their trucks, and they're not secured. And some people doesn't even think about it being a hazardous to your health. Because if those bulky items fall off and someone's driving behind you, then they can get hurt.
Oh, yes.
You know, you can cause, devastation. Someone could lose their life because of not really being a good steward to make sure that you're taking care of what you need to do. If you're transporting, make sure that you actually put those items, you need to put a tarp over them, or you need to use some bungee cords and secure them so that they won't fly out. You know, it's just so important for us to do that. It's amazing that, you know, with so many ways for people to really properly dispose of their trash, for them not to do that, that's just, is not really good. And they really don't think about how harmful it is. Because when it rains, like you said, everything that's on our major roadways finds its way to our main watershed.
Yes, ma'am.
And cause problems for wildlife, as well as the Columbus Water Works trying to get it all clean so that we can have good, clean water to use.
If you clog up those drains with trash, then you may have some issues with your street during some heavy rains.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of things that can go wrong if you litter.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you know what people may not know is that if they are littering, and if there is a document that have their names on it, then they can be fined.
Yes.
up to $2,000 for littering.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're actually hoping to have a wonderful workshop for enforcement officers pretty soon. Hopefully it'll be sponsored by Keep Georgia Beautiful. And what we want to do is to encourage our public safety officers to write tickets, to look for people who are not secure in their loads and write those tickets, because it's hard to change the mindset of grown people.
Yes.
You know, and the only way they would change what their behaviors is if they're hit in the pocket or confronted with maybe some jail time. Yeah. And so the law in 2006 was increased from $1,000 to $2,000. So actually they can charge you anything from that, you know, from $65 on up to $2,000 for littering. Yeah. So it's so important for us to make sure, and we really are going to see what we can do about getting that message out, educating people so that they can be better stewards, but also educating law enforcement so that they'll start writing some citations for people who are littering, because it just really doesn't make any sense.
No. Yeah. If there's any kids that are listening, get on to your parents. You just start young. Make sure you train them when they're young, and then make sure you get on those parents if you see them out there littering, doing something wrong, or if you see any trucks that are out there that should be tarped or debris flying off. Hey, tell your parents to contact somebody.
That's right. They can call 311 and just let them know. But it's important for us to take on our individual role, because it starts with us individually. And then collectively, we share that information so that everyone else can be on the same note or on the same page or driving in their lane, right? Yes. You know, they have a lot of little trite phrases for different things that's going on. But littering is a problem for us, and, you know, it was called to our attention. The mayor emailed us and said, hey, look, we're having a lot of people calling in about this littering, and so we need to do something about it. But we, Mike and I, can't do it all. You all have a responsibility too. So we're asking you all to be a good steward to our environment by not littering, first of all, and then sharing with people that you know, encourage them not to litter. And yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, when we educate our children, they do a wonderful job of educating their parents.
Exactly.
And so when we have our Help the Hooch cleanup activity, that's a litter awareness. You know, we're getting ready for our Great American Cleanup, and mostly it's going to focus on school campuses. So the schools are going to be engaged in allowing their kids to go out during the school day to clean up, to pick up litter. So that's one way to educate them, you know. And so we're looking to make sure that we can do our part about making sure that Columbus is a beautiful place to live and a clean place to live, as well as a safe place to live.
Exactly.
Right. Well, thank you so much for being on our show today. We do appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me.
Yep, and we'll look forward to you coming back. It's always good to have people who you can really chat with. And I do appreciate working with the Urban Forestry and Beautification Division. Ever since I've been a part of Keep Columbus Beautiful in 1999, we've worked very closely together. We're getting ready to plant some trees for Arbor Day at Downtown Elementary School. And we actually was at council meeting a couple of days or so ago to receive our proclamation.
I think some nice live oaks and some maple, I believe.
We're excited about it. Working with Trees Columbus and the Urban Forestry and Beautification Division and the school system in doing that. I think Total System too is a part of. They're going to be there helping us out a little bit. Thanks so much, Michael. We'll be right back. Don't forget to tune in.
All of us share a responsibility to keep Columbus beautiful. You may not intend to litter, but if you're not securing the items in the back of your pickup truck, you may be contributing to the problem. Please don't use your truck bed as a mobile trash can. It doesn't take much for the debris to blow out on our roadways, causing an unsightly and hazardous mess. Law enforcement is out ticketing litter bugs, so do your part, secure your load. Nobody likes a litter bug.
Welcome back to CCG TV, the Keep Columbus Beautiful Earthnotes. As I told you earlier, I had a wonderful guest that's coming back, and this is Reverend Timothy Maddox. And actually, you have a lot of things that are going on, and so we're going to share some of those things, because I early on I talked about some efforts that we were doing over in the Winterfield area, right off of Casita Road, the Community Improvement Program. And so what we've been trying to do is to engage the citizens in that area to take their community back, to clean it up, so that they'd be happy and excited about the areas that they live in. But there are a lot of resources in our community that a lot of citizens just do not know a lot about. So our guest here, Reverend Maddox, is going to give us a little bit of information about what he does, because he's a man of the cloth, and he's also going to tell us about a program that I know you all need to know. If you can't use this information, you can certainly share it with someone else who can. So welcome to our show, Reverend Maddox.
Oh, glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me to come and share with you today.
Well, good. I tell you, you know, I know your brother over at 24th Street, and you all look a lot alike. He's just a little bit taller than you are.
I get that all the time.
I know, that's right. And you sound so much alike. So it's a lot of reverends in your family, isn't it?
It sure is, yes,
Isn't that
ma'am.
something wonderful? So tell us, where's your church?
We're located in Hamilton, Georgia, 9980 Highway 219.
Oh, okay.
And we've been there for 18 years now.
Good.
And God is blessing our ministry. And as a matter of fact, we're in the midst of a study series on stewardship.
Oh, wonderful.
And so I believe, as I've heard you speaking about maintaining our environment,
That's right.
we have to be faithful stewards over that which the Lord has entrusted unto us.
Absolutely, because I tell you, every time I have an opportunity to go out and speak, I say, you know, I really love my job, because my job is to help take care of what God put here first.
That's right.
And that was our environment. He created water, air, as well vegetations.
That's right.
And then he created man.
That's right.
And then man created pollution.
That's right.
And so now we need to address it.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Absolutely. But I certainly do appreciate, you know, our conversations, and you and I have been exchanging some emails, and
Yes.
and because I know that people over in the Winterville area can benefit from your program, but people throughout Columbus can. So tell us a little bit about the program that you're here talking about. It's a
Okay.
winterization program, right?
Right.
Okay.
The parent company or parent organization is called LIHEAP, LIHEAP, Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program.
Okay.
And so out of that organization, there is the Weatherization Assistance Program.
Okay.
And resources and monies are made available by the federal government, where, just for instance, if a person has an HVAC system, which is outdated,
Right.
resources will be made available as the individual applies for assistance,
Okay.
where they can update their HVAC system, or if they have insufficient insulation.
Surround the windows and doors?
Right.
Okay.
Weather stripping around the windows and doors, outdated hot water heaters, anything that will help make the home more energy efficient.
Wow, you know, I just had to replace my hot water heater. Went home day before yesterday or so, and found water in my garage and
Wow.
in my washroom, and so I had to replace that. But there is a program for people who actually, within the income bracket,
Sure.
they can apply for some assistance, and will actually pay for the full unit, or how does that work?
Right, it is indeed according to income, and on the website it breaks it down according to how many people reside in the household, and your income has to fall within a certain amount according to the number of people that live there.
Okay, good.
And if you qualify, yes ma'am, it will pay it in full.
And I understand that the program right now for Columbus is being administered out of LaGrange. is it?
LaGrange, Georgia, the Community Action for Improvement
Right.
organization in LaGrange, Georgia. Ms. Andrea Brown is the director of that.
Oh, okay. And so if someone wanted to talk to you a little bit more about that, could you give us a number or whether they can reach you to talk with you? Because this is some information that I know that, you know, people can take advantage of.
Certainly. 706-366-1699.
Okay. Good. And this is Reverend Maddox, and I know that, you know, if you don't need this information and can use it, you can certainly share it with someone else, because, you know, there are a lot of people out there who may need some help with winterizing their homes and getting new air conditioning heating units as well as hot water heaters. So a way you can do that is to apply for this program.
Exactly.
Right? And as we stated earlier, it's administered out of LaGrange, but you can call Reverend Maddox and he'll give you that information. And actually, you know, we're going to be on site at the Martin Luther King Elementary School on the 22nd of April, which is Earth Day.
Wow, okay.
And so we'd like to extend an invitation for you to be a part of that, just if you want to come out and just be available to talk to the residents. We're going to have some interactive activities for the kids and for the adults. It's going to, and a lot of educational information about resources that they would need.
Okay.
And so if your schedule is open, we'd love for you to be there. It's going to be from 10 until 2.
Okay.
You can call me back and let me know if you'd like to do that.
Yes,
and we want to make those programs available to the people that's in that community as well as throughout Columbus.
Okay.
Okay.
If I'm available, I'd definitely love to come. Just a note, the individuals do not even have to worry about trying to get vendors or contractors to do the work themselves.
Oh, it'll come.
As you apply for the assistance,
Okay.
the organization actually has vendors on hand, which are
come.
reputable and licensed
Wow,
to
that's
do all of
great.
the work. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's a great resource.
I have a couple of people in mind myself that I need to get some information to
Well, good.
contact you. One of the ladies from our church
Great.
actually had an issue.
Great.
But thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day, and thank you for being available for the Lord to use you.
Amen.
Because I know He's using you in a mighty way, and
Amen.
He'll do that. And so thank you. Not only are you trying to save souls, you're trying to make sure that people in the community are taken care of, and that's where it starts. You know, individually, if we take on our responsibility, then collectively we can make some things happen.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
So thank you again for coming on. And thank you all for tuning in to CCG TV. And we hope that you'll tune in again. Make sure that you become a good steward to our environment. Everything you need for life was created before you. So take care of it. Take care of our water. Take care of our vegetation. Take care of our air qualities, you know. And so plant some trees. This is Arbor Day month. Call 311, request a tree to be planted on your right of way, and they'll bring it out the door. If not, they may not be able to plant this year, but they certainly will be able to plant next year. So thank you again for tuning in. We'll look forward to seeing you the next time on CCG TV, the Keep Columbus Beautiful Earth Notes.